Welcome back to my channel, guys. Thank you so very much for coming back and joining me today. I'm making my mason jar light for under my kitchen cabinets. Today you're going to need the following: an LED candle light to go inside the mason jar, an electric light. This little guy is only 2 inches. The reason he's so short is because it's an actual hot bulb, and I don't want to burn my house down. They come in 2, 4, 6, and I think 12 inches long, actually tall. You're going to need a primitive bulb. This one I dipped in silicone. I dipped, I think, 12 of them out of one shot. So that's why the little bulb looks like that. It's just dipped in silicone that you get at the hardware store. You're going to need a Pip Berry wreath, and that's going to go to the base of my mason jar. You're going to need a candle holder to hold the candle up once it's inside the jar. And you're going to need a ½ gallon, or you can use a full gallon. I'm using a ½ gallon mason jar today for this project. You're going to need some filler to go inside. These are little Pip Berries that I cut off of a vine. And you're going to need some ribbon, and you're going to need a very long barbecue tongs. They came off of my barbecue grill. You're also going to need those, and the reason for those is to put the base in properly, because I'm afraid that I ran out of wood ones, but a wood one wouldn't be heavy enough to keep the candle down. So I'm using this heavy metal, it's actually, I think it's wrought iron. It's a heavy little base to go for the candles to keep it inside and keep it standing up straight. And you're going to need a safety pin, and that I'll show you a little bit later why you're going to need a safety pin. Okay guys, you're going to start with putting the base on whatever countertop. Today we're doing this on my fireplace cement floor. Actually it's slate, but we're going to start there. What you're going to do is you're going to take your mason jar, and again this is ½ gallon and it fits perfectly in this particular one. The Pip Berries I got off of Amazon. What you're going to do is put the mason jar in the middle, so it's going to be your base. You don't have to do that right away. I'm just doing that to show you what it looks like as I go. What you're going to do is you're going to take your tongs, and I'm going to videotape it like this, guys, because I've tried already 13 times, and it doesn't work out unless you do it like this, apparently. You're going to take the mason jar, and you're going to take the tongs, and you're going to take the base and put it inside. What I did, guys, to make life easier, the top of the tongs have that little metal that hold it closed. I took that off to make it easier to work with. As you go and put it upright, gravity takes over and it actually causes it to stick in that position and you can't get it out very well. So it's perfect for putting in the base. So I'm going to leave that on the side. I found out using my hand is a lot easier. So I'm going to put inside my LED candle and try to get it as You want to try to get it as close to the middle as possible, but it really doesn't matter, because once you move it to wherever you're going to move it, you're going to have to fuss with it anyway. And I know the top is missing, but we'll get to that in a minute. Right now we're filling the bottom. And on the bottom, you're going to take a rope of Pip Berries. That's all it is. It's just a rope of Pip Berries. The important thing is, when you take your rope of Pip Berries, you want to make it as small as possible to go inside, because the hole is not that big. And you're going to pinch them a little bit, and as you let them in, they're all going to fall, and watch the light, and you push them in, and there you go. Now those Pip Berries are at the bottom, and I took apart a Pip Berry little branch, and I didn't want that many in there, and what I did is at the bottom I just twisted them so they're all kept together, so they'll look better because they're kept. And then you just dump them in on one side, and then you take the other Pip Berry bush and branch and you put it on the other side, and then you try to keep your little guy in the middle. And then this is where the tongs come in handy again, because at this point you can hold the candle and then move them around and try to see where you want to put them, and it'll make life easier. You also, if you want to put in some other little guy, like make it holiday, and you can put this little guy back in if you want it to. You can put him in and then moving him around, the Pip Berries around that. And then you can have a light like that, and then he can be in there. Or you can take him out, and we're going to take him out. But you definitely need something to pull everybody in and out, but it makes it easier to have the barbecue tongs. And then we're going to move everybody back up. And then that's it. Now he's back up. Okay, and I'm going to move you just a little bit. So now that's the bottom. You're a little bit crooked. I'm sorry about that. Like I said, I've tried to videotape this a couple of times, and it hasn't been that easy, believe it or not. Using the tongs and videotaping at the same time isn't easy, and I actually did this from above, and it didn't show up much. So, you're going to put the lid on top. Where I live right now, it is very cold. Right now, it's still only 23 degrees outside, and it's midday for me. It's around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's still too cold to spray paint. So when it gets warmer on this Thursday, I'm going to spray paint that base in matte black. Next thing to finish this up, like I said, but for right now, we're going to take this ribbon, and we're going to put this around here, and this is where the safety pin comes in. I'm going to put this up there for now, and I'm going to secure this to this, and I'm going to wrap it around fairly tightly if it wants to stay. And okay, I'm going to pull that off, and this is where it's at, and I'm going to put the safety pin back in, right like that, and safety pin it in, and you want it loose. You don't want to bunch it up because then you'll lose your measurements. Then what you're going to do is put it over the jar, and that's it. And then the next part of the project is to make a dool. And remember, it has to be little, because he's only, I think he's actually 1.5 inches. And you're going to put your metal, on top of your metal lid, you're going to put your little candle. And like I said, I made this little guy just with silicone. Go to the hardware store, you break open the silicone pump. It's the old-fashioned pump that you get for like putting caulk on windows and things like that. You open it up and you put it in one of those little red, I guess, can I say those cups? You put in one of those plastic cups, and you dip a couple times, and that's what you get. Now, this particular bulb is hot, so you need to be careful with it. They make LEDs, but this one that I bought, because it was so little, and it went perfectly, and this is just the candle that I already pre-made, but they make them in LED too. Okay, and this is what I made. I hope you guys like it. Oh, and one more thing. I'm going to take this off, and what you're going to do is use E6000 for the top. Once it's actually painted, you're going to use E6000 to attach the base of that, because it's nice and flat. And what you can do is, if you want to use these, you can basically take them off and on really easy. But I made something else for you guys. Same way that I attached this little guy to it, and then you can put that ribbon on top. Let me back up a little bit to show you what that looks like. So I don't know if you guys like that better or not, but I figured I'd make that for Easter and then put a bunny rabbit on it. So you guys like that. But that's my dual light mason jar for underneath my kitchen cabinets. Let me put my dual light back on. And that'll be it. You can do either one. Alright, I'm going to go put it in its spot, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when I come back. Here's what the dual mason jar looks like underneath my kitchen cabinets. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you would like to learn how to make this dual light mason jar light fixture for underneath Jasper